Morning, everybody. All right, little Western theme music to set the tone today. Good morning to all of you, eclectic domestic. How you doing, Kat? Nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a hot minute. I hope you're doing well, and love to see an update on what's going on. Thank you. Hello, Monique. I'm going to be your personal lifeguard here. Good morning, Karina, and let's see who else I missed. Vanessa, hey, Chris. Good morning, my girl Vanessa out there. I thought I was watching a Western. Of course, that is a still shot from my, hey, Miguel, guess what today is? Haley Ellis's birthday, and you want to sing happy birthday to Haley? I can do that. I can do that. Happy birthday to you. How you doing, Dave? Good morning to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Haley. Ooh, happy birthday to you. Good morning, Quinny. Good morning, Blonde. I'm getting ready for my beach time in San Diego. Hello, Mark Handler. Of course, that's a still shot from my my cinematic video in 2016 when we Missy Jenn and I took our vacation to Carson City and Virginia City, and I put together a little cinematic piece for the cemetery out there, which is quite a wild and woolly and scrubby looking place up on the hill outside of town. Hello, Cat Travels. There you go. Crystal Jones, how are you? Nice to see you. I think people would deliberately near drown. They'd probably drown me if they had a chance to. Hello, Zeus. Good afternoon, Angel and the Rev. Nice to see you. A few things to talk about this morning, and let me just adjust a few things here. I finally got there. I think Streamlabs is running great now. And for those of you who are on things like StreamYard and all that, when they go, I'm not sure if they made a decision yesterday to allow that to continue free for use. I heard something like that on a Hangout or something like that. Hello, Charles. How are you? Hello, Survivor. So I'm not sure if that's true or not, but the Streamlabs gives you so many more options. Yes, it's really difficult to work with. It's really difficult to get the hang of. Like I said, it's run by a bunch of geeks who, and the real failing of technology is the interface between people and technology. And that's what technical writers are supposed to do. They're supposed to be able to take a program and write it in plain speak as if you're a fifth grader so that you can understand it. Well, it's a mess. Hey, LaDonna, everybody assumes that you know everything about how to, how to integrate the programs. Welcome back, Missy Jenn. Your light's on your camera there.
Yeah, it's a safe outside.
Everything okay outside? No drama on the street of shattered dreams today out there.
No, it's
okay. I got Missy Jenn in the house popping through here this morning, and like I said, I hope everybody is having a good day. This is going to be kind of important, and I want to be perfectly clear, especially when it comes to things like being an escrow agent and all that. I'm not going to be an escrow agent. You're like, what the heck does that mean? We'll tear into that in a minute. But the number one thing is I had a live stream last night, and as I mentioned, there are two people for sure that are going to be putting it in gear for Yuma over the next couple days or so, and they've made that abundantly clear to me. I'm not going to give the attention to the channels there, but suffice to say, nobody puts an overt threat out there. But when you have things to the tune like, yeah, we'll meet in the dark there down in Yuma, or see you over the border, and those kind of things, it starts to get borderline crazy here on YouTube. And of course, I had some people overnight, you can't take that stuff seriously. It's just bullshit. It's contrived drama. Somebody's just trying to be a player. Look, here's the reality. I've had multiple people, well over a dozen or more people come up and stream snipe me on live streams, right? I mean, you've seen it. Way back, on my live streams in Petaluma, Sarah coming up live sniping us, Spanky Ham, Scotty London, the list goes on, Mr. Dirty. You don't know. Hey, Cobra John, thank you for your kindness, my friend. And I do kind of wish I was going to be in Bonneville with you. It sounds like a cooler place to be. I'm going down to Yuma. I got a job to do down there. You can call it babysitting. You can call it hand holding. You can do whatever, but it's reaching the point of ridiculous now. All this teeth nonsense and all this stuff. And plus, I'm interested in capturing the real Yuma. It's a very close distance between San Diego and Yuma. How you doing, Michelle? And it's also a chance, Lee, nice to see you. It's also a chance to ride shotgun if Delisa Marie is going to come into San Diego, up over the pass there, which has the real difficulty, of course, is the 11-mile grade with no flat ground. And taking a camper van, it's already overheating on a 1%, 2% grade. So a sustained 11-mile climb is it's probably going to be the worst of the worst. Jen, would you mind? Are you going out, honey? Because it's so loud, the noise coming through the front door, I can't hardly hear myself think.
Tell him to come back and make some.
Yeah, thank you. Tell them to turn up the volume on the garbage truck, okay? Dropping that shit. Hey, Beavis, how are you? Nice to see you. Well, you got to be on guard for the unexpected. Now, do I believe that anybody, as I said last night, do I believe anybody would take something to a physical level? I don't think so. especially if if it's live streaming or something like that. Because let's face it, I mean, you're captured on video if stuff goes down, and they'll figure out who you are. But on the other hand, you're not live streaming 24/7. So I do have to be guarded. People have said apply for a carry permit. Unfortunately, they don't issue them in this county. This is California, okay, and I'm in this Northern California, which is such a liberal enclave up here that even though the Circuit Court of Appeals out here in San Francisco ruled that you have to issue permits for reasonable cause, the out that the sheriff's department and the out that the city police chief of Santa Rosa uses, when you go in and apply, you'll see a stack of applications this big on the desks. They'll tell you, yeah, we're required to issue these permits, but nobody said it has to be done. Nobody defined what's a timely manner. So we're just going to sit on them forever. Now, of course, it's okay, Celeste. Hey, how you doing, Sean? Yeah, you're lucky. I'm not sure if you're in El Dorado County or what county you're in there. It varies county by county. I just happen to live in the county that's probably Marin, Sonoma, and Napa counties, probably some of the bluest of the blue counties in the state of California. So that's not going to happen, okay? And the city of Santa Rosa Police Department sure as hell doesn't want that to happen. I mean, you hear them on my live streams every afternoon, every night. There are cop cars whizzing down everywhere with gangbangers and stuff like that. So it's kind of in their vested interest to do that. Let's just say, Mark Handler, that nobody's ever going to put in words that I'm going to do X, Y, Z to you, okay? They couch things in terms of, hey, I'll see you, I'll see you when you're boondocking, blah, blah, blah. I'll make your trip miserable down to Yuma and those kind of things. That's, do you take that stuff seriously or not? Well, you do the best you can. And I plan on having my 2 million Scoville unit pepper spray, the big boy, the gangbang size, ready to go and ready to be deployed. And I will have, how you doing, Linescrew? And I will have no hesitation in using that if I feel like I'm threatened. Okay, you saw Mr. Dirty come up to me in Las Vegas. I hear that voice, Rosie. I turn around. Here's a guy 6 feet 5 inches tall. I don't know what the guy's intentions are. I know he's got some opinions about Marshall. And it could be game on at that point, and I have no idea. Luckily, most of those situations turn out well. Most people are very, hey, monkey boy. Most people, good morning, Chris. Most people are very level-headed, and they don't want to risk their own freedoms for doing something. So, good morning, kitten cat. So probably it's words, but I do know of 2 people that are definitely heading to Yuma. Some people have speculated that Dave the fisherman is going to be one of them. I'm not going to comment on that, okay? There's enough of a swirl going on with Dave right now, and all that stuff going on in the 3rd ring of the 3-ring circus. I don't even want to get involved in all that jive over there. But do I have a reasonable expectation of seeing Dave down there? Yeah, I do. Okay, do I think Dave is going to do anything? No, I think Dave would end up buying a steak, but Dave will have his say, and I can't guarantee. Dave is at the current time, he's a loose cannon floating around the deck, so I have no idea what's going on, but I feel quite certain that Dave would not do anything to You know, he might give a good yell, things like that. But I have every confidence that's not in the spirit of Dave to do something. So I'm not particularly worried about that. The other ones here, I have to kind of take it seriously here. I'm thinking of seeing if I can get D to go down. I don't know. You know, he's doing his van build out. He's got to get his registration complete and his insurance. He wants to do things the legal way, and that requires WORK. And D is not averse to, you know, there's plenty of day job work in Las Vegas. I've seen him go off at work and come back in the afternoons. Make the money. It's a good thing. It's cash in your hand, and you can build your dream out. So I cannot ask D to drop everything and come down to Yuma. Although it sure as hell would be nice to, you know, have somebody that's 6'2" and 240 on the streets there, and used to dusting it up on the streets and things. So we shall see. I'm just asking people, just be cool out there, okay? This is one of the problems when you hang around a town too long. You end up on the police radar. They start showing up. You put things, you know, that can be interpreted as disparaging police and other things, and then it's like game on. Nobody wants to, hey Dawn, nobody wants to be insulted. Hey Run, nobody wants to be insulted, especially when their chosen profession is law enforcement, because we know that most law enforcement people, officers, be they men or women, are basically trying to not be confrontational. You have crap on your windshield, something's messed up on your car, you know, they're going to probably give you a warning, maybe a repair citation or something like that. But it's not in there. They don't want to generate paperwork. It's easier for them to roll through a shift and just give out warnings to people. And you better come in with 100% respect 100% of the time, or you're going to have 100% of a problematic time that you have in that particular town. I don't want things to accelerate now coming up over the next couple of weeks. Hey, Dory Lynn. Yeah, bring Tasha. She can handle anybody. Yeah, how you doing, Sean? Don't forget to bring the wet wipes. Well, I feel like it's a twofold purpose. Because it's close to San Diego, I have no issue going over there. Like I said, Yuma is a very picturesque town by virtue of its geographical layout. It's a
Native American police ain't gonna put up with
well, that's the last people you want to mess with, as Jen said. The Native American police are the last ones, but they would also consider themselves tribal police force that and you don't ever want to stand behind it. You don't ever want to stand in front of a tribal court. Okay, it ain't like a regular United States circuit court, lower court, and things like that. It's a totally different deal. And I would think that they can feel a little hypersensitive about things that go on in their community. It's their sovereign land there. And Yuma happens to be an unusual place where California, Arizona, Mexico, and Native American lands all conjoin in one point there. So there's a lot of sense of whose territory is whose territory, okay, over there. Well, I don't know. I want to get in and out. I want to just, you know, I'd like to just try to make sure stuff's done, but I also want to have a good time in Los Algodones. I'm on permanent vacation now, so why in the hell not? Why in the hell not? Why can't I enjoy some of the environment there in Yuma and Algodones? I don't see any downside. Yeah, tribal land is ruled by tribal law. It's not our constitution. If you get pulled up before a tribal court, maybe they meet once a week. you know, and you'll be in front of 3 tribal elders that'll decide your case as a judicial authority with the full support and recognition of the United States of America as to the legality of the sentences, everything else. Well, I think I need to, but which brings me to another thing. I'm not, and this is the important point today. I'm not going to be an escrow agent for anybody, whether it's for Marshall, whether it's for anybody else on YouTube. I kind of knew when I came out and talked about Dr. W. Dr. W is a physician down in the Ensenada and Cardiff area, and I did some looking up last night. It's north of San Francisco, north of San Diego. It's a very hoity-toity coastal area there, very expensive real estate. And he reached out with a willingness to contribute some funds as a tooth fairy, as he called it, on one condition that the money go into my hand and my hand alone. And on my way down to San Diego, I've agreed it's going to be a Sunday, a Saturday, or it's probably a Sunday, and I will stop off. Cardiff by the Sea is right on the way to San Diego, and I'll see what the guy says. I'll see what he says. How you doing, Shay Shay? Thank you. Hello, hello. Consequently, as a result of that, I had wonderful people. Linescrew1 was on my hangout last night. And being Linescrew1 steps up and says, hey, what? You know, I'd be happy to contribute something on the condition that it goes in your hands and your control. And you know what I said to Linescrew1? I said a couple things. Number one, you got a great channel, okay? You bring good content. Number two. Number three, you're a nice guy. And number four, you have a good reputation in the community. You're really not Boyd. I mean, you've been around since 2000 and, you know, the Hangouts, Drury's Hangouts. You were on Drury's Hangouts and things. But there's no, as I told him, there's no upside to you doing that. There's zero upside. You're not down in the mud. You're not down in all the nonsense like I am. And I can't even consider doing something like that. Well, overnight, a lot of people, 200 plus people on the hangout last night. You're going to be contacted by people that suddenly like the idea of acting as an escrow agent to make sure that things are done. Hey, Keith Gregory. In other words, I'll put some money in your hand because I trust you, but I'm not going to put money in somebody else. I'm not going to put money in another person's hands. Okay? And I thought to myself, well, this didn't turn out the way I want. This didn't turn out as expected. So got up about 7:30. I wrote back each of those people that offered that, and I said, I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to do that, to make that happen. Because my background, my experience with any time that I ever directly handled money on YouTube, 90% of the time it was a total disaster. Okay, sponsoring some dip that's going to ride a bike around the perimeter of the United States to raise awareness for animal shelters. You know, it's just a whole list. You know, you can really get full of yourself if you're an effective fundraiser, which I am, a very effective fundraiser. But you learn really quickly that you put the money in, you put something. How you doing, Lisa? Lisa, nice to see you. I hope to see you in San Diego would buy you a steak. How about that? You learn really quickly on YouTube when you put money in somebody else's hands. You have what I call the quiet period. You don't hear a lot of stuff for maybe a week or two. And then it's like a brew. It's like a bubbling cauldron. And after a week or two, a few bubbles come up to the surface, and you start to hear little, we've seen it in a lot of people that take in money as a funnel and distribute it elsewhere. Yeah, kitten cats, raise money for me and I'll eat 1,000 goldfish. Yeah, give an inch and take them all. The problem with that is once that money leaves your hands, and I never really acted as the repository of money. I just simply put a link to that person's GoFundMe. But you're going to get tarred with the brush if you're the one that promoted that. You're the dummy. And you're going to take the heat, and you're going to take the most heat. You should have known better. This guy or this gal is a lowlife. You should have known that that would be an outcome. There's track record speaks for itself. Okay, now let's imagine a theoretical situation. You have Linescrew, who enjoys a stellar reputation on YouTube. Now, it would be very easy to say, whoa, everybody send the money, mission accomplished, nice new choppers, everything's all good. But suppose shit went bad. Who's gonna experience the blowback? Who's gonna experience the comments on the channel, the trolling on streams? It's gonna be Linescrew1. Okay, and I'm too protective of people's franchises that they've built. Their hearts tend to lead their minds on here. And I think we all can agree that that's a pretty good way of putting it, that they lead with their heart. They think this is a chance to really have something be done. And as they said, I could send you X dollars, no problem at all. What a great idea. Hey, the idea is squashed right now. Boom. Okay. Hey, worm burper, I don't have any intention of handling any money for anybody, and I'm highly discouraging anybody from sending any money to me. Dr. W came out of the blue. And I vetted Dr. W a little bit. And on second thought, maybe not such a great idea. But it's one particular person who's not a high profile person here on YouTube. And let this one be the only one. As I said, I've pulled, how you doing, bully? I have pulled away. Yeah, the aftermath would blow my wig off. So I'm not going to shoulder one bit of that responsibility for that. One person I'm willing to do that because hey, that's a great idea, and oh cool, I'll stop on the way down there, probably boondock down there. And hopefully I'll be able to get it on camera, and I don't know, we'll try. Yeah, Larry, see Pam Anderson outfit, the Pam Anderson. Well, I'm heading to Yuma soon, and I think some people were just mucking around a little bit, to tell you the truth, Larry. I can't think, yeah, money tears families apart. It's like, how long have you been around the boy? Have you seen when you'll watch a hangout that inevitably, and not particularly on my channel because I stay away from drama, but when people are hashing up other people's stuff, inevitably money comes to the fore. Who got what did they do with it? Families that are torn apart, all manner of things. Yes, I've been swatted before. I've been swatted quite a few times. Yeah, money's not the root of all evil, but the love of money is the root of all evil. And even though the amounts are generally small that pass across the bottom of YouTube, how you doing, Kim? There's still funds. So for those of you who are thinking of, Rosie the escrow agent, I just have to say no. I'm not going to be accepting that. I'm not going to take responsibility on that. I got too much. These are supposed to be the years of great travel and adventure, and I'm going to keep them that way. Okay, if I want to help somebody, I quietly reach out on places like emails and messengers and just deal with that person directly, as I'm sure many of you do. The worst thing, in my opinion, that you can do is take money things public on YouTube. I can't think of anything. How you doing, Kawana? Yeah, unless you set up a proper foundation with legal channels, the administration costs are huge. Yeah, that's exactly right, Laurie. Thank you, Kawana. I just would not want to ever. If you people will get. Let me tell you about the boy. People will give you a pass for a period in time, say 2015, 2016. They'll also see if you learned your lesson. They'll look and see whether you're a drama whore and want to be a player with money again and want to intervene and be a big Broadway star and be a big fundraiser and blah, blah, blah. They want to see if the lesson's learned. Well, let me tell you 100% the lesson was learned and drilled in hard. And I don't have any intention on backtracking and going backwards on that. Lee said I got called to PS for just saying hello. Why should you have to do any work for the cause when you want to lift a finger to have his own teeth? Well, I'm going down there for a mix of pleasure. I would like to go. Missy Jenn and I spent a good time in Algodondes and in Yuma. I like to explore things a little more, and because of its close proximity, I do feel like I would like to ride shotgun as Lisa Marie, probably on a midnight run, to attempt to run the pass into San Diego. And we all know how that's going to go as things go along. Maybe end up, I'm doing some explorations. I'm not really crazy about the idea because you have to come through it on the other side. I have a special passport. It's not a full-on passport. Marshall has a passport. Maybe the thing to do is to buy Mexican insurance and take our chances on the road between, Algodondes and through the deserts of Mexico and pop up through San Ysidro and come through that way. Hey, Holly, how you doing, sweetheart? Yeah, you have to have Mexican insurance to drive in Mexico. It is a definite requirement because if you mess somebody up and cause an accident, they'll keep your vehicle, they'll keep you until such time as your family wires down funds for your, it's immediate settlement of damages and things like that. Okay? Bully, I'm just trying not to time out Kit and Kat. I like to kind of keep an open platform. And Kit and Kat, if you could be so kind enough to just keep things on a positive plane today, I would appreciate that. Okay. And this is a grown man. I can tell you exactly why, Cobra John. And I'm not going to make this stream about Marshall. This is more about my travels coming up and what I plan to do. Okay, the fun I plan to have, the content I want to bring. I don't have to hang off the coattails to go down there and have a lot of support and have a lot of viewership and have a good time down there. Okay. Guaranteed I bring better street content, guaranteed better videography, guaranteed the more people experience. Yeah, would I like to dress up in a Mexican wedding dress? Would it be fun to pose with Marshall for a picture? Yeah, I think that would be a hoot. It would be a lot of laughs here on the Boyd, but I think it would be fun to dress like that. It'd also be fun to take a ride around, take an Uber around and check things out. So I stand on my own merits. I don't need to hitch on the train for it, okay? And then it's off to San Diego and fun over there. Put my own twist on San Diego and have a great time. Let's see. Nice to see Holly on there. Yeah, I know. People will be watching. Thank you, Cobra John. You know, I refuse to make it about somebody else. It's going to be about my own content. But if I can be in an advisory, you know, like I said, some people suffer an analysis of paralysis. They gather so much information that they become stymied. They don't know which thing to do, so they don't do anything. And why wasn't it done before? Because it's always this race, Cobra John, between the temptation. I'm coming to San Diego, Lisa. I'll be riding on your bitch seat, honey, on your Harley. We're going to go down to Black's Beach, baby. There's always a temptation, Cobra John, when you get a slug of money in to reorder where that money goes. That's one reason why I don't want to be involved with handling money. One piece of money from Dr. W, if it comes through, the mysterious Dr. W, is enough for me. Okay? This is a low-profile individual on YouTube that I don't know a whole hell of a lot about. Okay? I'm suspecting that he's of Middle Eastern derivation due to the name, but I cannot attest to that. I'm not an expert on all things Assyrian, all things, you know. Seems to me, in doing a little research on the name, he may be from Uzbekistan as a immigrant into the United States. I do know that he has enjoyed following the channels, and let's face it, it engrosses a lot of people in here. What's up, Bergs? How you doing? Yeah, you get ciabatta bed from the food bank. It's good. Yeah, I call him the mysterious Dr. W because until he presents himself, and like I said, I'm not driving to Palm Desert. I'm not driving to Palm Springs. I'm not driving to 100 Palms, Dateland, Julian. I'm not driving 75, 100 miles out of my way to meet anybody. Okay, but since apparently that Cardiff and Ensenada is on the way, it's just a simple turn off into town, I'm willing to do that. But I'm not willing to cool my heels on a Sunday because somebody's out on the golf course, because Sunday's their golf day, and I'm not going to caddy for somebody and haul ass around a bag. Although I guess I'd be a whore for the money and maybe do so on there. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. Rosie, Bergs and I made up. He apologized. I appreciated it too. Just as an aside, on Bergs, we did make our peace and we've been fine. And I'm happy to support. You know, I've bought some merch and done some private supports and stuff. Always with the hope that Berg continues to move forward and stays away from the negative stuff. Okay, honey. Want another bag? There you go. There you go, honey. Could you pick up, I didn't make any sauce. Could you pick up a couple jars of like You know, Francesca over in Aldi, spaghetti sauce like mushroom and garlic or something like that, or one of those brands. Because I got a lot of noodles and stuff to use here and everything. Oh, thank you, Amanda. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that, you know, and I'm not going to uh, waste all my time on a Sunday unless I decide to boondock overnight, and in which case I'll show an area I've never been to before and play it by ear. I'm not chasing anybody down anywhere, okay? I'm not going to play a mugs game of being down in an area and playing some cat and mouse game. I got to be on guard against that. Now, Cobra John was talking about when you have the money and how does it get dissipated, because when you're a van dwelling nomad and you're living on the cuff, and sometimes you get a sense, at least in the early days, of how powerful the YouTube platform is and the tools that YouTube gives you to use, it becomes extremely tempting to take those tools and use the hell out of them. You get a slug of money and then you start weighing off, well, might be okay for another year. And then you start to put 2 and 2 together, you do the math, and you start to calculate, I need $20 a day to survive. I took in $1,500. Ding, I'm good to go for a month and a half, 2 months. I don't know if Cobra John is in here, but Cobra John, that's my best, that is my best thing. I got Harvey in there. Harvey, please, Harvey, when you're on other people's stream, I'm rewatching, you know, the stream of Becca and not watching for the first time. And all you're putting in the comments is, I'll bet Rosie's watching, you know, look at the numbers here and all that. Harvey, I really could care less about that stuff, okay? You're too wrapped into YouTube. You're too wrapped into trying to straddle this monetization and money thing, this obsession with money and things like that, versus, you know, the drama that's being played out. I'm just asking you, please don't talk about me as a derivative product when you watch somebody else's stream. I just don't have that much interest in it, okay? To me, it's, you know, it's kind of revolting. It's kind of revolting. On a par of I'm revolting to people. Okay, I'll put it there. Hey, D. I'll put myself on the same level. Yeah, I'm revolting too, and it's not something that I enjoy watching. Okay. Focus on what the subject is, not on the ancillary and secondary and tertiary aspects of what other people are thinking about the context of stuff, okay? We're not that invested in it. I'm one of the few people on YouTube that has met every single one of these people in real life and spent time with them. Stickers, Deb the RN, Dave the Fisherman, Vegas Barbie, Vegas Vixen, the Glamorous Cat, Simon, Becca, and I just have to tell you, my interest level in that is about that. I don't derive any pleasure out of the miseries of other people and the nonsense that goes on there. Well, you know what I'm saying, Jen. Yeah, and D-dubs too. So we know these people. people that are commenting on the outside, you're certainly entitled to your opinions, and that's a wonderful thing. But I've met these people in person, and quite frankly, I always, and I do some crazy shit on McNamara, and maybe people say, oh, Rosie, after your teeny weeny microbee, I feel like taking a shower too, or I threw up a little bit in my mouth. I get that. But I'm having fun. But riding shotgun on other people's marital shit sucks. Okay? Digging into other people's lives and tearing into it. Yeah, you might get the numbers, but if that leaves you with a good feeling at the end of the day, then that perhaps psychologically there's something in your composition that maybe needs a little bit of a fine tuning. No problem, Uber Goober. I have no idea why the things go, the notifications. Notifications on YouTube are one of those things that you think would be a slam dunk to set up properly, but they never work well. And then sometimes people want to blame you because you didn't get the notifications on there. But Cobra John, I hope that answered your question. When you feel your power on YouTube, it can go to your head, and you can suddenly decide that I'll put it out there that YouTube can be a cash cow, because people start to like you. They invest in you. They they want to continue the show going. They want to see the boy stuff play out. They want to see somebody's van explode in the desert. They want to see, Rosie's wig get snatched or whatever. There's all kinds of goals of people here. And it's a very heady experience, but it's also it's a dangerous road to go down. Because the temptation is to reallocate funds away from what people want to give them for, and it's a great way to burn your bridges. And this is how we end up where we are today. Let's see, ask me all the time I quit the job and travel the world. Oh yeah, there I go. That's it, Juice. And you always will be my mod, Juice, period. I'm sorry, VW, that you're sick. I hope you feel better. You got to have a good sense of steering you got to have a good sense of where you sit with people in a community. And it's almost like if you ever got in serious trouble, you have to ask yourself, if you had to lift the bat phone and make the call, would anybody answer? Would anybody care, or would you hear a room full of people laughing on the other side? I don't ever want to be in a position where I lift the phone and there's people laughing on the other side. I like to feel like that rare time, unknown in the future, when something may terrible happen, that I can pick up the bat phone and have the goodwill of the people on YouTube. If you don't think that is, Polly would answer right. I mean, if you don't think that that's something to treasure and hold in a mental Fort Knox to be used only in case of extreme emergency. I'm not talking about a few bucks on a tip ad on a stream or something. Here's a beer, here's a burger, things like that. That's normal day-to-day stuff. But the real test of your ability to integrate and have support is really what happens when you have that bat phone moment and you have to pick up that bat phone. And if you have to sit there and push people and cajole people to try to get somebody to answer that phone, then that tells you all you need to know about your presence on YouTube. Can it be recovered? In my opinion, it can. Why? Thank you, Katie. Yeah, it does make a lot of sense. In my opinion, it can be recovered because, number one, don't assume people are stupid because they happen to be on YouTube. They may be disabled here and use YouTube as a social media platform. They may be retired. They may be working people like Monique. I know Lisa. Lisa, you're wonderful. You've had enough. You've had enough rail cars hitched to your engine. I'm coming down to San Diego and uncouple you, honey, from that. It's time to get back to the Lisa that's fun-loving and a doll down there. Okay, but my point is anybody can turn the corner, but it doesn't happen in a day because people aren't stupid. You got people like Monique here that work. Yeah, I worked for 46 years, Uber Goober, and good on you, honey. And, you know, as somebody says, the bottom line is that, you know, people aren't dumb. People want to see positive change on YouTube. As I said, people like Monique that work, but once in a while she can check in and just enjoy popping in on a break and being on a stream. We don't know why people are on YouTube. Scotty London. Okay, I'm hoping you're coming to SFO. I'll meet you. Good to see you. So that's my feeling about money. Some people are going to be highly insulted that I won't do that. But I will say there's not many people, you know, there's jokes about the Wing Bull Mafia. The Wing Bull Mafia is very small because who in the hell wants to jump into the Wing Bull Mafia, you know? Okay. It's, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying if you have the desire to reach out and you desire to be a player and you decide to make a contribution to the Tooth Fairy Fund and all that, it's going to be on you to step in the Wing Bull Mafia and frankly take the heat like the rest of us, okay? It's a very select crew of people that, you know, for lack of a better word, you know, hang together because of our past, okay? That's all I can suggest. That's all I can suggest to do is that I'm not willing to be that person, to be the straw man that sits out in front and takes money and passes it along and acts like a heat sink to absorb the blowback, which will come, which 100% will come. I can't do that anymore. I won't do that. And like I said, I'm going to get some people that are not really excited about hearing that news as they were this morning, but I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to do that. Okay, it's your responsibility to take care of your own money management and all that. Meanwhile, I plan on continue. Thank you, Bergs. There's Wi-Fi. Yeah, Cobra John says I get bashed for what little I contribute. Thick skin. Yeah, Cobra John, never give anybody else control over what you do on YouTube. It's the very worst mistake that you can make. Particularly people that are in the shadows, that operate behind avatars, that don't have any presence on YouTube except a troll. Don't ever give them control over your power over what you do. Okay? Because you're a stand-up person that's out there and you're a public presence and you take the heat. You're a man because you stand up and you show your real self and have a real presence on YouTube. And that puts you head and shoulders above anybody that may criticize what you do. Okay? Doesn't matter about the berating, the other things. You're a man. There's no other way to put it. You're a man. And you have the backbone to stand up and be yourself and stand tall. And I can't think of anywhere you're not welcome to be on YouTube. Let's see. People get mad when people give a little tip to a creator. I say they can get happy in those same pants they got. They got mad in. Oh man. Yeah, I'll just tell you, scroll back, Jordan. Let that be your afternoon viewing on here. On a happy note, there are people that do content in a positive way and bring joyful content and put smiles on people's face. I feel like I'm one to do that. I feel like these one to do that. We don't have to get down in the drama sphere to drag for views and allow it to be a sewers that are reopened to pull half mutilated bodies out for re-exhibition and fun. And Linescrew1 is such a person. You know, he came down and visited the Rancho a couple years ago with Sammy the Pooper's dog, and we had a great time. If you're going to be in the Las Vegas area in mid-October, I will be making my way down to, by that time, these should have no problem being a van dweller. The weather is more comfortable at nighttime there. And I will probably ensconce myself in a hotel. I don't know if Elvis will be coming over. Linescrew said it wasn't a killer for that. If he comes over, he'd be willing to meet him. But it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a good time hanging out that week. I'll probably come in a little bit before and have the meet up and hang around a little bit afterward. And you see a guy that does positive, well edited, great content, and his numbers show it. His subscribers, his view counts, they're all that. So that's the validation on it. Yeah, I think the spring will be great, Uber Goober. I think that's a good time to come up to the Northwest. I only have to be careful about my grass allergies, pollen allergies, and the grasslands here in California kill me in May. It's May and June are tough months. Thank you. Hello, hello. So on that note, if you're going to be down there in the Las Vegas area, and I think a few people are, it's going to be great to have a meetup. We can have a group meal or something like that. I don't personally, I'm not taking responsibility for paying for meals for people. I didn't mind doing that on my journey up through the Midwest and Great Lakes tour. But I have to conserve my own funds now for the future, so I have to tighten the purse string. So it's kind of like everybody's on their own, to take care of themselves, as Linescrew will do, and I think he's coming down with somebody else. Thinking about where's Kevin Costner? Well, that's right. That's right. Anyway, I'm going to end it up. I'll probably be having a open chat on Rosie McNamara tonight. We'll have a few adult beverages. Later on, anything goes. We have fun Q&As and things like that, and we have a good time. In the meantime, keep your fingers crossed for my van. I've been communicating with my service agent down there. I told him today the parts may be in today. Please stay on top of my van. I would love to have my van for the weekend, okay? And to be able to hit the road. Celeste, it's always an honor to see you on here. You take it easy, hard working. If you haven't ever heard Celeste on the Hangout, she's got one of the greatest Southern voices that you'll ever hear on YouTube. I might install on the Rosie Murphy channel. I may install StreamYard and I may do a panel, but I'm not going to post a public link to it. The links will be put out by Gmail contact and things like that. There's too many people that would love to, not too many, but a few people who would love to bring the channel down by shooting in things that are less than YouTube worthy. So, okay, so you all take care, and I will see you this evening. I'll also be trying to do so. I may go up to the river today. It might be a warm day. Do a little inner tubing on the river. It might be some fun content. So we shall see. Jen, thank you for being in here and modding away today. I appreciate it. I'm very slim on my mod core right now because of what's going on with Ginger and with Kim C. Continue to spare a thought for them. Okay, so on that note, I'm going to go ahead and, if you would please be so good as to thumbs up the stream on your way out, that would surely be appreciated. Thank you, Mark Handler. Kitten Cat, good to see you on. I will see you tonight. It will be late night. We'll have a little bit of fun. Thanks, everybody.